She's 71. Take a deep breath when you see her now. Kate Jackson is a well-known American actress, best known for the role she played in Charlie's Angels. She's a fantastic actress who's appeared in more than 50 television shows and films. She's been out of the spotlight for a while, but fans recall how well she presented different characters. Kate started her acting career in 1960. She's so unique in many ways that she inspired many women to become actors. One thing about this phenomenal woman is that she's aging like fine wine. Apparently, she's 71. Take a deep breath when you see her now. However, she looks way younger than what she portrays. Here is more you should know about this acting icon. When was she born? The actress was born in October 1948. The actress was born in Birmingham, Alabama, in the United States of America. Her parents, Mr. Hogan and Ruth Jackson, raised her in the Birmingham neighborhood. Her dad was a businessman. Kate Jackson's current address is unknown, but the actress resides on her 120-acre farm in Keswick, Virginia. She moved to the farm to be closer to her best friend from high school. Kate's best known as Sabrina Duncan, the astute detective on Charlie's Angels. Or maybe you recognize her as Mrs. King, her stage name, and Scarecrow Mrs. King. In any case, Jackson was a staple of 1970s and 1980s television. Her career as an actress began in the 1960s. She worked as an NBC page and also a tour guide at the Rockefeller Center before becoming an actress. She was then cast as the silent ghost Daphne Harridge in the Dark Shadows soap opera. She stands 5 foot 9 inches tall. She weighs about 139 pounds or 63 kilograms when she was in the spotlight. Her eyes and hair are both dark brown. What does Kate look like these days? She hasn't been seen in the media in years, so it's uncertain how she looks today. Education. The actress attended Birmingham Brook High School for girls. She studied history at the University of Mississippi. She became one of the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority's Delta Rho chapters at the university. She wasn't there for long. She transferred to Birmingham Southern College midway during her first year. She majored in speech and history of the theater. After that, she worked as an intern at the Stowe Playhouse in Stowe, Vermont. She also studied acting at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts based in New York City. She left Charlie's Angels. Why? Sabrina Duncan, the role she played in Charlie's Angels, was one of the roles that rocketed the actress to fame. Between 1976 and 1979, she emerged in this series. Originally cast as Kelly Garrett, she was eventually replaced by Jacqueline Smith. Instead, she took on the role of Sabrina Duncan. She decided to leave the show because she didn't want to risk her life for the sake of a television show, and she decided it was time to go. The actress's net worth is about $10 million. Her fortune stems from her successful acting career. In 2010, the actress filed a lawsuit against her financial advisor. She alleged Richard B. Francis's actions cost her a lot of money that could amount to more than $3 million and nearly bankrupted her. She claimed Francis misled her concerning the value of her property and pressured her into purchasing a home she couldn't afford. The lawsuit was settled between the two. The conditions of the agreement were kept private. Is Kate married? At the moment, the star is not married. She was, however, previously married. She got engaged to actor Edward Albert in the mid-1970s. After a while, the couple called off their engagement. After a 6-month courtship, Andrew Stevens married Kate Jackson in August 1978. In 1981, the couple divorced. She wedded David Greenwald, a businessman from New York, in 1982. The couple founded Shoot the Moon Productions. Scarecrow and Mrs. King were created by the company. Their marriage ended in 1984. In 1989, she met Tom Hart, a businessman who owned a ski lodge in Utah. The couple married in 1991 and divorced in 1993. In 1995, the actress adopted a son. Her battle with cancer. The actress was nominated for numerous Primetime Emmys for the role she played in Charlie's Angels and battled breast cancer twice. In an interview with People in the 1990s, she stated that she was forced to face her own death after her first battle with the disease. Jackson was working on the hit TV show Scarecrow and Mrs. King at the time she went for her first diagnosis in January 1987. She was given the day off work because another member of the cast had the flu. But Jackson went to get a mammogram after having a foretaste that morning instead of relaxing for the entire day. It was something I never felt before and it caught me off guard, but clear, she recalled of her suspicion. Following her instincts, she underwent her first mammogram, an X-ray of the breast that revealed that there was a small growth in her left breast. As a result, she underwent a biopsy to determine whether the cells on the growth were cancerous. "It wasn't a lump," she clarified. "There wasn't even anything I could feel. It was extremely small. Despite its size, the biopsy revealed that the tumor was malignant, and she had a lumpectomy 4 days later to remove it, followed by radiation treatment while she went back to work." According to People magazine, she recovered from her first bout of cancer 1 year later and starred in the American sitcom Baby Boom in 1989. Sadly, 2 years after her first cancer battle, the actress discovered another lump of cancer cells in her left breast during a routine mammogram. She started to recover from cancer, but the 2 different diagnoses had an emotional impact on Jackson. "The diversity of feelings you go through is amazing," she said. "However, I made the conscious choice to be optimistic. Whenever a negative thought crossed my mind, I ignored it. A recurrence of the comeback of cancer after it's already been treated, and it may only be detected through follow-up scans." According to Cancer Research UK, your breast or scar sometimes appears or feels different. Treatment for a recurrence always depends on what you had previously, but it may entail the removal of a whole breast, known as a mastectomy. According to the charity, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, hormone therapy, and targeted cancer drugs may also be used. Jackson underwent a partial mastectomy, as well as reconstructive plastic surgery in 1989. "The first thing I was told was good news," Jackson recalled when she woke up from surgery. "Thank goodness my lymph nodes were clear. I was extremely fortunate." Today, Jackson is cancer-free. What are some things you don't know about Jackson? The first role she ever played was in Dark Shadows. As mentioned earlier, her college education began at the University of Mississippi. However, she later moved to New York City with the aim of studying at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Jackson perfected her skills by performing in summer stage shows. After graduation, she landed her first role on the famous daytime vampire soap opera, Dark Shadows. In an interview, she later admitted that it was among her first auditions. Jackson, who played the ghost, Tracy Collins, did not speak for the show's first 5 weeks or so. She eventually got some dialogue and a part of the spin-off film Night of Dark Shadows. Kate is one of those who suggested the name Angels. Following her success on The Rookies, producer Aaron Spelling landed Jackson as the star in his next project, an action show about 3 female private detectives. The Alley Cats was the working title. However, Jackson, who needed more creative input in the film's creation, was not a fan. During one meeting, she pointed to an artwork of cherubs hanging beside Spelling's desk and said, "How about angels?" The show was renamed Harry's Angels, but because there was already a Harry O series, the final edit was changed to Charlie's Angels. At first, she was Kelly on the show, not Sabrina. Oh, and there was one big difference between the plot development and the final product of Charlie's Angels. Kate Jackson was cast as Kelly Garrett. As a result, Kelly was the protagonist in the 1976 made-for-TV film Charlie's Angels. However, late in production, Jackson swapped the roles with Sabrina while Jaclyn Smith played Kelly. Did you know that she turned down the role she was given that rocketed Meryl Streep's career? Kate Jackson's career was boosted by the phenomenal success of Charlie's Angels. She co-starred with Dustin Hoffman in the 1979 drama Kramer vs. Kramer. However, Kate was contractually bound to the Charlie's Angels shooting schedule. The producers refused to let her film Kramer vs. Kramer. She was made to leave the film. Meryl Streep, a rising star, took over the role and won the Oscar for Best Actress in the year's highest-grossing film. She hosted Saturday Night Live after leaving NBC. Jackson did not focus more on showing off her acting chops as the host of Saturday Night Live in 1979. She was very familiar with 30 Rock. Jackson worked as a page at NBC during her college years. Talk about climbing the corporate ladder. In addition, she did very well in the show, and sources say that Kate Jackson made a good amount of money from hosting the show. Remember the SNL Necklace? Yes, it became her huge scarecrow and Mrs. King wardrobe. Have you seen the necklace Kate wore on Saturday Night Live? She bought a heart-shaped diamond necklace to add some divergent sparkle to her black outfit. Jackson not only preserved the necklace, but also wore it frequently in her Scarecrow and Mrs. King role as Amanda King. Jackson had a role in the effects of the Vietnam War in one of the movies. Let's take a step back. Jackson appeared in the 1972 film Limbo. While not widely known or acclaimed, the film is historically significant. Jackson played the wife of a missing soldier during the Vietnam War. The war would last 3 more years, making this film not only the first Vietnam film in general, but also a trendsetter when it comes to focusing on the emotional strain back home in the United States.